Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome back to episode 27. Today I'm going to take you behind the scenes over the next 3 episodes on how I landed some speaking gigs, what I did, how it changed my business, and give you lots of takeaways. So the first one I'm going to talk about today is around Stylist Live. Now, Stylist Live, when I was doing it, was in Kensington Olympia. It was a huge conference centre. A 3-day event, I believe. I was going to be there on the first day. Lots of stages, lots of stalls, lots of exhibitions and workshops, and thousands of people going through the doors. And I was booked for the Friday afternoon to do a session on goal setting and resolutions. And I was so excited about this. I'd read the magazine for years. Whenever I went to the Tube on a Wednesday morning, they'd always have a copy there. And it just felt like such a great fit for my brand and their brand, and I love doing it, essentially. So let me talk you behind the scenes. Basically, I knew somebody who knew somebody, and this person just happened to say it in a random way. But here is the first kind of takeaway. This person who I was talking about Stylist to knew exactly who I was, what I did, and how capable I was. Because the thing is, people are not going to share their contacts, they're not going to introduce you unless you prove it first. And so her knowing me from a professional standpoint made her feel as though she would be happy to put herself in that situation. So I think this is the key thing. It's easy to make an introduction, but you have to be ready to earn that right. The second thing I did was I actually followed up, and I spent time putting together the email. I thought about it. I said who I was, what I did. I kept it really simple, but I was really thorough within it as well. They then came back and offered me a meeting where I could go and prep. And that is truly where the work began. And this is the stuff that most people don't want to do because they're like, well, I'm not getting paid for that. But I always work on the basis that I get to keep it all. I get to keep all of that research, all of that knowledge, all of that insight. That comes with me to the next opportunity. Yes, it won't be exactly the same, but it will always come up sooner rather than later. So I always see this as me developing my career rather than being like, I can't believe they're not paying me for this research perspective. Or if I don't get the job, suddenly it's like, oh, all that hard work has gone to waste. Never, ever, never, ever. So I researched and I prepped within an inch of my life. And when I went in for that pitch, I had different options. And what I did was I wrote them on little cards. So the names of the different talks. And I think I probably had like between 4 and 6. So we could both see them on the desk. And I gave a little bit of a brief overview and I was thinking this. And also there's something really tactile about that you can both move them around and they can point to the same thing rather than getting lost in an email. She was able to go, that's going to be great, but that with a little bit of this. She was able to have that sensory touch to it and really connect to the ideas. I also realized how important, as well as listening to that feedback from her, as in, I think this would work for this audience. I'm not sure about this. Actually, this could work. I also knew that I had to tread that sweet spot between receiving that feedback, but also shooting my shot. Because it may be that the person who is booking you doesn't really know much about your industry or your expertise or what you bring to the table. And so having that confidence to be able to say you were a wedding planner and somebody was like, I don't know, I've never really got married before. What do you think? And they might be like, well, we don't want to do the drinks outside. That just wouldn't work for us. We want to do them sitting down. you as that wedding planner would be able to say, look, this is usually what's previously worked before. How about this with a bit of this? You have to still lean into your expert status, because that insight is really important in the process. Finally, what I have learned from that is that you have to give it everything. You have to give that pitch, that opportunity, that showing up on time, then being like prepared within an inch of your life. It is so, so important, because when you come into the space, and I'm talking about on the day then, when you come, you're signed in by maybe a runner, and then you're brought up, and then you meet the team, and then they show you all these things, then you meet the sound person and the director and somebody else, and it's a lot of meeting things. And all of these people are walking around with a clipboard, and they are looking for you, and they're feeling it out, like, what's this person? Are they going to do a good job? Because their reputation is on the line. So what was great about this was it gave me that ability to be on that bigger platform. It gave me a bigger audience, because so many people didn't know me, as they just happened to be walking past my pitch. So I'd always put your social media, make sure your name is present, because nobody's going to go, right, let me just go back to the program to 3:00 and see who that was. There might be some people who do that, but most people, if they can see your face and your name up there, that's going to be easier to find you online. And the other thing I think is really important is to really tie it all together at the end. Thank the people, say how much you enjoyed it, send an email, really complete it. And if you said, look, I'm going to send you over my slides afterwards, or whatever it might be, make sure you do it. Do it that day, because people's lives move so quickly, and you never want to be that person who's like a month later, you're like, oh gosh, I said that I'd send that thing and I haven't, and now I feel a bit embarrassed about it. Just do it, because you never know what might happen. There may be some momentum to build straight away. It could be that they're like, actually, we're now casting this, or we're looking for somebody for this, and this is next week. If you are front and center and fresh in their mind, it's going to be really easy for them to do that. If you are not subscribed to the series, please do so. It's available now. It's free, and there's a free workshop link down below also. If you are ready to speak up and fully monetize your speaking skill and elevate it and take it to the next level, come and join. There are 3 ways to join, and if you add magic at checkout, you can save 20%.